Constable Melanie Flynn joins us from the Lloydminster RCMP. She's here today to give us some safety tips as we are in a deep freeze here in the border city. Constable Flynn, thanks for being here. First of all, I was going to ask about New Year's. I know it's a busy time for police. This year was quite cold, but how was New Year's this year?
It was a cold one, that's for sure. Members were out on the roads responding to calls as usual.
Well, this week started off quite snowy as we got a big snowfall on Monday. How many calls did the Lloydminster RCMP have to respond to relating to that snow?
Well, with the increased amount of snowfall we received since Monday, I guess, I ran the numbers and it's approximately 10 calls for service that we responded to involving traffic collisions. So specifically, traffic collisions is what we were looking at, and that surely the ice and snow was a factor in a few of those collisions.
When it comes to this cold and snowy conditions that we're experiencing, what are some tips for drivers? I know clearing their windshield is probably a big one.
Yeah, so firstly, there's some things we can do before we even leave our homes in regards to winter driving safety. So ensuring that your vehicle is fully removed of snow. We know when there is decreased visibility because of this type of weather, we want to remain visible, right? So removing all the snow from your lights and from your windows. So don't forget your lights, that's important. And illuminating those lights. So even it is still dark in the morning, so make sure your lights are on your vehicles. It's really important. Ensuring your wipers are working and functioning well, so not frozen up. Checking the treads on your tires is important as well. Some people might be using older winter tires, and we want to make sure the treads are still solid on those. So all weather or winter tires are going to function better on the roads that we're seeing this week. And also make sure your vehicle's fluids are filled up. So from Monday and then continuing this week, some motorists may have experienced being stuck in a snowbank or being stuck roadside, and there are longer wait times often. So we want to ensure that fluids are topped up, especially gas, and batteries are functioning so that you're not left in the cold, especially with this -30, -40 temperatures.
We are now under another extreme cold warning here in Lloydminster that's going to extend through this week. What is the RCMP doing to respond to this cold weather, and how does the cold weather even affect just the police's ability to do their job?
If you do find yourself stranded, whether your vehicle's broke down, whether you're in a snowbank, whether you're involved in a traffic collision, it's important to definitely call if you need help. So calling our dispatch, calling the Lloydminster detachment if you're in the city of Lloydminster, and then the RCMP will respond with the appropriate first responders, and that could include a tow truck, right? If you're just in the ditch and you find yourself in a snowbank, calling a tow on your own is always like an option too, right? If you're not at risk of in any way, shape, or form, calling a tow truck yourself and getting that call in right away. When you are on the phone with dispatch, if you do have to call into the police for services, it's important to really let us know if anyone's injured or if anyone is in a vulnerable state that might be in your vehicle.
So when residents are out driving on the road, what should they be keeping in mind?
We encourage all motorists to really slow down and drive to the conditions that are before you. So this week we've seen increased snow and ice, so slippery conditions. This means poor visibility and often decreased vehicle control, okay? So you need to take that into consideration when you're getting from point A to point B. So checking those road reports is important, and listening to the weather advisories is important as well. And knowing that you do need increased stopping time is required, and getting through those intersections. So we do have a lot of intersections in Lloydminster. And if you are making that left-hand turn across oncoming traffic, proceed safely. So account for the snow buildup in the middle of the intersections, account for those required increased stopping times. So just adjust your driving to drive more defensively. And also just be vigilant of plows, because I think come Friday, we're going to see a lot of snow clearing happening. So just remain vigilant of plows and slow down, especially if you're coming up to them on the highway. We encourage, and it is law to slow down to 60, right? Slow down to 60 when passing tow trucks or plows.
Now, when it's this cold outside, everyone wants to heat up their car before they head out, but not everyone has a remote car starter. So what are some tips for people when they're starting their car?
With the temperatures being minus 30, minus 40, we're all warming up our vehicles, and we just want to ensure that we're doing that safely and preventing vehicle theft. So warming up your vehicle, stay in like sight line of it, don't leave it unattended, and don't leave keys in the vehicle. It's important.
Constable Flynn, thank you for taking some time to talk with us today.